What is good, everybody, and welcome to Marveling in the Madness. As always, we have Dominic Tor in the building. How you doing, my guy?
I am doing well, thank you. And how are you doing, Steve?
Yeah, not too bad for a Sunday. Weather miserable, so I feel like all that negative energy you've been saying lately. Oh, I want to be less cold, man. Basically, all of that stuff. Yeah, you're welcome now. It's doing it. It's just miserable now. So
Hey,
thanks.
my plants are happy.
But yeah, other than that, can't complain. Can't complain.
That's
Not
just
one.
that's just
Even though
reminded
I
me
just
my
can't
hose is
complain.
running.
What?
My hose is still running in the pond, so it's probably gonna be overflowing by the time I finish this podcast. But anyway.
That sounds like a you problem.
And yes, you were just complaining about the weather.
Yeah, I corrected myself. I said
You
even though I complained.
you are
So
so British.
nope, you can't claim me. Stop that,
I
by the way.
keep claiming you. I'm gonna claim you. One day you will accept.
Anywho, what is the first story you got for me?
So there is a news article on Sky News, if you want to find it yourselves,
Link will
about
be below.
yeah. Oh yeah, we could put a link in. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
professional? About a new proposition by, I think it's one of their ministers, who is saying that people should stare at smokers to try and stop them smoking in areas that they
Okay,
don't want smoking.
where from though?
In Hong Kong, sorry. In
There
Hong
you
Kong.
go.
In Hong Kong. Did I forget that part? In Hong Kong.
Yeah, you might have done. You might have. I don't know. I do that sometimes. I'm in and out with my intentions, but
You listened to a
uh,
portion of what I said and we're thinking about the next bit.
I was already thinking like what I was gonna say. I was like, did you say this bit? So this bit makes sense. Now we're on another weird tangent about me not listening. Anyhow, yeah. I think it's kind of a good law. I could stand behind it.
I don't think it's a law. I think it's just a man saying, stare at everyone, stop them smoking.
No. I think they should make it a law.
You must,
Make it a law. Make
whenever someone's smoking, you must stare at them. Yeah.
because I'm all for people having free will, but when your free will affects me, then it's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm all good with people smoking as long as they smoke, as
That's what
long
I'm
as
saying.
they're polite about it and smoke somewhere where it's not near me. That's fine.
Take it far away. Go walk a mile down the road. You go have a cigarette. That's cool. I'm not gonna have a problem with you. I'm not gonna give you no mean stares. But I'm just stood next to you. You just start to like, oh, I'm looking at you a little bit like, really?
Yeah. You don't have to breathe it in.
You know what I mean?
I think that's the same thing with anything that people do. Like if you want to drink, fine, go and drink. I might not agree with you getting drunk, but go do it. If that's your choice. However, as long as you're not forcing me to drink your alcohol. It'd be like if every time they drank, I had to drink it at the same time. That'd be if someone did
Yeah,
that, then that'd be a different vibe, wouldn't it?
I'm kind of with you, but you don't get like, oh, you get secondhand smoke. You don't really get secondhand drink, do you? So
Well,
again,
that's what
like,
I
it's
was. Yeah,
not
that's what I was saying. Like,
directly
yeah,
affecting me. So
that's
like, even if you're being ridiculous on alcohol, I'm like, eventually I'm just like, oh, cool, I can walk away. It doesn't really affect me
yeah,
straight away. But if you light up smoking next to me, I'm like, ugh, that's jarring.
that's
I'm
it.
not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna give you like a
That's
one of
not
them.
helping my lungs.
Yeah, go do
That's,
that over there.
it's like it's what you accept, isn't it? Like everyone accepts cars driving by, even though the diesel and the petrol fumes aren't great for your lungs either.
Yeah, but I'm not next to the exhaust, am I?
It's true. You are breathing it in, but you're not right
Not
next
just
to it.
like, yeah, that was great. Let's have more of that.
Just
More
sucking in
car.
all the fumes.
Just keep
Great.
doing that.
Just like strapping yourself to the back. No, but like I suppose it's the same principle, like that you can't drink and drive because the second you get in a car and you've been drinking, then you are now impacting someone else by your being out of control.
Yes, that's the most logical thing you've said so far. Yeah.
It's all logical, but
I don't know.
your brain just ain't following.
No. The drinking thing was nonsense. I'm like, that's not affecting me directly. Yes, you'll be annoying, but I'm not secondhand drinker. I just be like, nah.
That
I'm
was
like,
my point.
mm-mm.
My point was
Wait, no. It's not how then you didn't explain it very well. I'm just saying. Terrible explanation. It's nothing to do with me and my listening skills, which we
no.
about.
We might have a theme.
Mm-mm. No need.
I love your cut, by the way. You should model it for the people. Just hold it up for a second.
No,
No, I really like it.
you get little glimpses, and that's it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You get little glimpses. It's
I'm
not.
modeling my Denby one that my wife just very politely gave me.
Oh dear.
Anyway, we've gone very off topic of what we were meant to be talking about, which
It's
is,
fun. We're now modeling the madness. It's exactly what we do. But
have you ever seen that film, The Men Who Stare at Goats?
I haven't. I've heard about it. Never actually decided to watch it.
Very random film, but I think the idea, from memory, the idea of the film was that you stare at goats to try and see if you can kill them by staring at them.
Oh.
And hence the film title, The Men Who Stare at Goats. But it was a very odd film. But the idea of staring at people who smoke to try and dissuade them from smoking by making them feel comfortable is kind of reminding me of The Men Who Stare at Goats. Granted, you're not trying to kill them, but
Also, it's very extreme. Like, I don't like what you're doing, but I'm not gonna do it to try to kill you. Like, you can make your own decisions. You're your own individual. I'll be honest. I don't really have a problem with it. It's only when it's literally in my face or next to me that I'm like,
what we're basically saying is just do it. Just be polite.
yeah.
If you want to do something that's bad for you or might not be very good for you anyway, then do it, or you need to because it calms you down, whatever. Do it somewhere that is polite.
Yeah.
Most people are, I think. Not everyone, but most people
Yeah,
are
I was about
polite.
to say, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think I've actually ever had to really complain about someone smoking near me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't grow up in the era where people smoked in restaurants and nightclubs. It was only just before our era. Not that I'm in
Yeah, it
nightclubs
is
anymore, but
a little bit weird. Oh no, I think it happened a little bit when I was growing up. Yeah, no,
when you're
a
growing
lot
up.
actually. What am I talking about? A lot, but you didn't really think of it as weird.
No, it's funny how
It's,
society moves on, isn't it?
it's just the norm. Well, I'm kind of glad now. Like everyone go outside, go do your thing.
Nice. This is a deep conversation we had.
It
Very little
is.
about what we
I
were.
think we got to the bottom of it and we explained everything better. So now I'm happy with everything.
That's good. Good. I'm glad your ears took it in, you processed it, and it came out, and my words came out in a way that you could understand.
Just get better at speaking, bro. God. I don't ask for a lot, you know. It's not normally me fumbling over words or whatever, but just get better at speaking. You know what I mean?
It's all right. We both manage that on this podcast because I think of the time of the week we do it. About everyone's having a day off brain power. Anyway, should we move on to our second, not so that interesting story, but vaguely interesting? I'm really selling it, aren't I?
I was about to say, there goes the runtime right there. They just switched off already. Yeah,
Cheese.
yeah. Let's go into it. So you can tell me about it.
Oh, okay.
Your
So
introduction to
Burger King, I
cheese.
believe in Thailand. Again, this was on Sky News if you want to go find it yourself. Link in maybe in the description below if we do it. They've come up with a non-meat burger, but rather than doing what most people do, which is putting in a non-meat alternative, they just whack 20 pieces of cheese in it.
Which begs the question: is there such thing as too much cheese? And I want to answer my own question. Yes. 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 I'll go even so further. I'll go on a weird slight tangent, and I'm going to tell a story. I'm not going to give that friend's name because obviously we both know the friend, and I'm not going to put them on blast. But basically, this one time I asked a friend to make me a cheese toasty. Thought, you know, it's going to be sick. Can't wait to eat it at the time of my life. This person honestly put that much cheese in. I feel like I was having heart palpitations. Like I've never, and I can't like. I don't know. It's giving me a bit of a thing about cheese toasties now. Like it's giving me a bit of a thing every time I see one. It makes my heart beat a little bit. So there's such a thing for me as too much cheese.
I've got a couple of stories about that. In fact, three little stories. So my mum, when we went to the rugby recently, she ordered a cheese toasty from somewhere, and it was it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It was a cheese toasty, right? But it had cheese on the outside as well as on the inside. So when she got it, it looked like porridge.
Oh.
It was disgusting. She ate it as well because she needed lunch. It was grim. Wasn't pleasant.
Cheese definitely belongs on the inside.
Yeah.
I suppose you could like sprinkle a little bit over the top. That's fine, but no.
Yeah. The other one is I went for beans on toast during work one time, and I like had 3 pieces of toast and a nice tin of beans, and then I cut up loads of cheese, but I cut it quite thick. And normally I used to have 2 slices of toast, but I didn't think about it and just put like 3 pieces of cheese on each. Got back into the office, I was like, well, I had proper cheese sweats on.
Also, again, another friend. We had a friend's house. We were both there. Do you remember the time we ate a block of cheese?
That was my other story, though. I was going, yeah, but the poor family had no cheese for the week because you decided to have a cheese eating competition.
So again, there's such thing as cheese. Well, weirdly that time didn't have heart palpitations, but when it was actually on bread, I think there was like this much cheese. It was kind of ridiculous.
That's a lot of cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah, but half a block each was quite a lot as well.
yeah.
We are getting older now, I suppose.
Safe to say I haven't done it since. I don't even really eat cheese now, to be honest.
I like cheese, but I try to not eat as much as I did on that beans on toast. The other thing is I like a slice of burger cheese, like 1 slice on my burger, nice. But 20 slices of burger cheese, it's not even nice cheese particularly. It's just going to be
it's like the weird plasticky stuff. I don't even think it's real cheese at that point.
No, it's just like I feel like it's probably just a heart attack waiting to happen. That burger.
It's malted plastic is what it is.
Nice. So yeah, we won't be eating that. That's the conclusion.
Yeah. Wow.
We're putting the worlds to rights today.
2 problems solved. Done. Dusted.
And now, should we move on to the problem that if we can solve, then I think that we would have been doing the world a big favor.
I don't know if I can do 3 problems, you know. I can only just about cope with 2, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm ready. So obviously there is the terrible war, and I'm not making light of that at all. What's going off in Russia and Ukraine? Obviously horrendous that people are dying every day. But there was a strange situation going off in Russia around the Wagner Mutiny, where they also sort of 24-hour mutiny, or not even 24 hours, like 12-hour mutiny, where they started marching on Moscow. Then they decided to call it off, and the leader of the Wagner group was going to go to Belarus, and they were going to settle in Belarus. Great, there was no blood, there was some bloodshed, but a lot of lives were saved. And he said he was never trying to overthrow Putin, he was just trying to get rid of the current military leaders. And then next thing, apparently a few days later, it turns out Putin was meant to have had a meeting with the leader of Wagner in Russia and a load of the Wagner leaders. And they sort of had a discussion, and Putin was telling them how he saw things. And I think and he gave offers to the Wagner group. And the Wagner boss has no longer been seen in public. And they've been doing a big thing to discredit him in the news now, as in they did a thing where they walked around his house and they showed like some supposedly dodgy things, and then one of them was like a cupboard full of wigs.
Oh.
It's like stranger, as I think one of the news articles said, it's like stranger than any story you could come up with. It's just like some strange, surreal, like bizarre story from some sort of
all of
James
this just because he's not been in public and he's not really said anything about this meeting. So
well, they now think he's probably either dead or incarcerated.
Okay.
But like, so they're trying to separate Wagner groups, and Wagner kind of still exists, but now it doesn't. It's like, A, what did he expect? Like trying to like do it a half mutiny and then not doing a mutiny. And B, now what's going off? Is he like, was he working for Putin all this time to show like the threat? What? It's bizarre. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he was working for Putin. Is some sort of bizarre twist.
You just don't know what to believe anymore. And which makes it really sad, because now you have to try to find like the information between the information, which is so sad, because obviously it's a real event, it's a real loss at stake, but then they just more or less playing, not checkers, chess with people's lives. And it's mad. It's absolutely mad for no good reason.
It's really sad that an entire war really has been started because of, I'm going to say it, like white men's power. And it's not just exclusive to white men, but like historically, largely, unfortunately, a lot of the world has been down to white men and their political games.
Very deep rabbit hole you're going to go down.
Well, it's true. And whether obviously, I think historically, it's not entirely. You've got people like Genghis Khan who've done all sorts of things, so it is a thing. But in that sort of modern history, sort of the Western nations have dominated the world, so they're going to be the ones who commit or seem to have the most power, aren't they? But it's really strange. Like Russian politics is like all of this is a sort of political maneuvering and gamesmanship, really, between some very powerful men. Like there's been some generals recently that have been like sacked and have been come out against some of the things that the military are doing and the military leadership are doing. You almost imagine that you almost feel like the military leadership of Russia are fighting the war as a kind of political game to get some like political grandstanding. So some of them have been sacked because they're like friends with certain other generals or MPs, from what it sounds like. It's so sad that is really why wars are fought.
Well, you got to think about it, when there's not a good enough reason to fight for something, you're gonna have dysfunction between the troops and the generals, because then they can't really get behind whatever message you're trying to send.
Yeah,
what I mean? So it's gonna cause absolute dismay. Yeah, we'll go with that.
They're all just trying to get their own power. Wait, to be honest, it's kind of the reason most wars have been fought in the past, anyway, isn't it? Most time, it's for somebody to increase their power as the head of state. Like kings in the past, they would go to war to gain more territory or to gain honor or glory on the battlefield. It's all the same stuff now, really. It's not changed. It's just
there's a lot more eyes on it because we have 24-hour news outlets, that just pump out every story, which is good, but then also bad because it's 24 hours. Everything's not always going to be fact checked, so it's just. And it just gets lost in transaction what the actual truth is and what's just pure utter nonsense.
And there's a lot of purposeful disinformation, isn't there?
For sure.
Like there's an information war going off. To be honest, I think sensible nations, if you're going to fight a war now, you'd fight an economic war or a biological war. I say sensible. That doesn't mean it's nice or good, by the way, but like I think there must be an acceptance that claiming land.
Poor choice of words.
so logical then, but I love your cup.
But no, I get what you're going for. If there was a better way to do it.
Yeah, that's it. And like, I just think that's how probably future wars will be fought, and could be quite brutal still.
No, I think it's going to get a lot worse, just the way they're fighting it now. But you got to think, with AI getting better and better each day, videos and everything, and voice, you know what I mean? Basically, it's just going to keep getting better and better. It will be hard to. I can't speak English now. I've got what you got. Great. It'll be hard to see, what's actually truth, what's real and what's not, because like the technology will get so good, it'll be hard to distinguish between the two.
Yeah, I think crash economies and all sorts of things. It's interesting. I would like the hope world to get on, and there's space enough for everyone. Everyone could be. There's enough in the world for everyone to have enough. So.
Oh, for sure.
There's nothing wrong with having power, but it's what you do with it and the heart you have behind it.
Once you start to get power, what do you want?
More power. And we shouldn't.
This is how it goes,
We should be happy with
your intentions are good. You're like, okay, I see. I've got to this level, but what if I can get to that level?
Yeah,
just the human nature way.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that power.
No, but it's what you do with it.
It's what you do with it, and I think the heart behind it, and ultimately, both of us, it's like trust in a higher power, the ultimate high power, and recognize. If you recognize that, if you recognize God, then you can accept that what He wants you to do with power and what He wants you to do is very different. And I think if you recognize, if you don't try and set yourself up as the ultimate power, then actually it probably it kind of modulates your desires.
Well, yeah, because I want to phrase this. No, the train of thought was gone. Yeah, completely agree with you. Completely agree.
Yeah. Well, that was a bit more. Sorry, that one went a bit deeper.
Even brought God in. Check you out.
Check us out.
That was very good.
We managed to. We did the whole spectrum today. We sorted out 3 problems there, mate. It's better than we ever managed. No, but we came up with a solution. Use your power to benefit others. Stop trying to beat yourself up.
But then it's going to get worse because AI is going to get really good, and then we're going to be in trouble. So
yeah, but Yeah, we can believe in the general man. We can have hope. Let's have hope.
There's always hope.
We know what the
That's
end
it.
will be. We know what the end will be.
There's always hope. Do we know what the end will be?
Yeah.
What's the end going to be?
God's coming back. Everything's going to be made new. It's going to be beautiful.
It would be nice.
Might get dark before that, but that's all right. We know what the end is.
Say your prayers. Say your prayers. Say your prayers. Get them ready.
Get them ready, yeah. So yeah, there you go. See, we sorted it.
So basically, we just solved the war even with prayers, which I quite like. Hey, everybody pray.
That is the way. That is the way to solve it.
A little prayer, for the war that's going on. Let's all just get along. Let's move on. We're all struggling out here. Let's move on. Let's make the world a better place.
Amen.
There you go. That's my prayer. Boom. And with that, I think we'll end it there. Unless you've got anything else you want to add.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Beautiful. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been Marveling the Madness. As always, with Dominic Tor and myself, Stephen Matembu. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Have a good week.